Obama's executive order that just come on in, take our country, do whatever you want, walk right by our great, and they are really terrific people. I know them. Spent a lot of time with them on the border. Our border patrols. Stand down, they're told. Stand down. They're standing there. They're tough. They're strong. They want to do their job. They're not allowed to do their job. Obama has been a disaster for this country. And unless we get going, and unless we get smart, we're not going to have a country. You need borders to have a country. Now what's happened, you need borders. You need borders. So if I win, lots of things are going to happen. Lots of things are going to happen. Number one, with immigration, you know, we have gangs in Los Angeles and Chicago and other places where they're all illegal immigrants. These are tough dudes. They are gone before I even start the wall. They are gone. They're out of here. They're out of here. They're out of here. And I will tell you, we have some people in this country not supposed to be here. We're not putting them in our prison so that we can take care of them for the next 45 years. We're bringing them back where they came. They're never coming back in, and let their country take care of them, because we're not paying the bill. So this all blends now in, because that's been one of my big points. I think trade maybe is my biggest point, because I'm so tired of seeing our country lose the jobs, lose the money, lose the base, lose everything. But right now, because of what's happening and because of what happened in Paris, I mean, think of this, think of this. Nobody wants to say it. I'm the only one that says it. I tell the truth. You know why I tell the truth? Because, hey, if it doesn't work, it's okay. I loved my life. I'm doing something that's, I just feel it's important. I was asked today, why are you doing it? I'm not doing it for myself. I had a really nice life. I'm going around from place to place to place. But thank you. I'm doing it because, first of all, we don't have much time left. But second of all, I honestly believe we can make our country greater than it's ever been. I really believe that. With common sense and intelligence, we can be greater than it's ever been. So what's happened on immigration is it's all blending in now with the migration. The migration is a catastrophe. And you have hundreds and thousands, you have people want to pour into all of these countries. Merkel, you have to see what's happening in Germany. They're having riots in Germany. What the hell is she thinking? What's she thinking? They're having tremendous crime where they didn't have any. They're having villages overrun. But listen, this could be the great Trojan horse of all time. Because you look at the migration, study it, look at it. Now they'll start infiltrating with women and children. But you look at that migration, and I'm looking at it, and I'm the first one to bring it up. 3 weeks ago, I'm saying, isn't that a shame? And then I said to myself, wow, they're all men. There are no men. You look at it, there are so few women, and there are so few children. And not only are they men, they're young men, and they're strong as can be. They're tough-looking cookies. I say, what's going on here? And then you look at what 5 or 6 people did in Paris, and we have to get smart. I just had a press conference. I said, we have to get smart. They said, the mastermind. The mastermind. He's scum. He's not mastermind. He's scum. He's scum. The press plays right into their hands. The press is calling the leader of the pack in Paris a mastermind. So all these kids are sitting home, even in New York and in California and in Massachusetts. Oh, the mastermind. He's not a mastermind. He's a lowlife. This is just a lowlife guy. He's a bum. He's a bum. I'll bet he doesn't have a 90 IQ. You take a look at this guy, and they're talking about He's a mastermind. I just told him at the press conference, I said, you got to stop calling these people masterminds. We have to take back the internet. There's so many things we have to do. We have a president that doesn't have a clue. We have a president that says ISIS is contained. He's contained. The only thing contained is us. We're contained because we have no leadership. But we have to take back, the internet is ours. But they've taken over the internet. They're using the internet better than we do. They're using the internet and they're recruiting people. And then the people go out to fight for ISIS. And then we let them back into the country. We let them back in. Where have you been? I've been fighting for ISIS. Oh, come on back in. Go back home to Texas. No, how stupid are we? When they leave the country, when they go to fight for ISIS or Al-Qaeda or whoever the hell they're fighting, they never, ever come back into this country again. Ever. Ever. But we've got to take back the internet because they are taking people, they're literally brainwashing people. They're brainwashing our youth, and they're getting it to say like, oh, this is what they want to do. We can't let that happen. We have innocent youth, and they're misguided, and they're brought along. But then they hear the press talking about these people like Robin Hood. We can't allow the press to do that. We can't allow it to happen. We have to take back our country. We have to take back our intelligence. We have to take back the internet. We can't let this happen. Recently, Jeb Bush. It's over. I don't want to waste a lot of time on him because it's over. It's over. And you know what? I think he's a nice person. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? But recently he said, Donald Trump's tone is very tough. That's what we need. We need tough tone. And I say it, we have people in the Middle East and all over having their heads cut off. James Foley, who I think was an amazing guy, I got to know his parents. They're incredible people. Their son's head was cut off. That was the beginning. They're chopping off heads. You're a Christian, they chop off your head. They chop off heads of everybody. They drown them in cages. We haven't had anything. This has never happened. Maybe the Middle Ages, maybe medieval times. You used to read about it. You know, you used to read about medieval times. There's never been anything like this. I said, don't go into Iraq. I was right. I said, now, we got to go and we got to knock the shit out of these people. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. And we can do it fast, and we can do it furious. We can do it. We can do it well. We can win there again. I watched on television. I talk about it all the time. I see our generals being interviewed on television. I don't want generals interviewed on television. I want to be unpredictable. You know, we're predictable. We're predictable. I want to be unpredictable. You know, all the polls say I'd be the best at the military. I'd be the best at foreign policy. Which is interesting, because if you read the front page of the New York Times today, they said about Ben Carson that he's unable to understand foreign policy. You notice people actually said this, that he's unable to comprehend or understand foreign policy. It was a devastating, so it's all over the place. And if you watched over the weekend, you would understand exactly what they're talking about, because it was devastating when you watched the interview. But he's unable to comprehend foreign policy. We can't do this. I think he's a nice guy, probably. Who knows? I don't care. I don't care. We need somebody that's sharp and tough and smart and can figure it out fast. I mean, we're playing games. We're playing games. The problem we have is we're playing games. We don't have the luxury of going through what we've gone through for the last 7 years with this guy. This guy was not suited to be president of the United States. He wasn't. I mean, I talked about Ben the other day, and I talked about his book. Somebody said, no, you're too tough. So I'll do it very quickly. Because I went in Iowa, I talked for 15 minutes. They said, oh, that was too tough. It's not a question of being tough. He wrote a book. He said he's got pathological disease. Okay. That's a problem to me. He said he hit or tried to hit his mother over the head with a hammer. I didn't. Me? Mary McLeod? No way. I didn't. He said he tried to stab somebody, hit the belt buckle. No belt buckle stopping because they're going to twist and turn and slide and it's going in. The strong guy goes like this, it's going in, it's not stopping. It might be detoured a little bit, but it's going in. He said he hit somebody, really a very good friend of his, in the face, really, really hard with a padlock. Boom, in his face, did a lot of damage. And that's why they want to elect him. And he's trying to prove that he did it. And I'm saying, I think if I was him, I'd try and prove that I didn't do it. I don't get the whole deal. I don't get it. I don't get it. What are we coming to? What is the country coming to? We need sharp, we need smart, we need brilliant, we need tough. We've got to get the right guy. We need Trump. Yeah. Thank you. So then today they come out with the Times story, and you should read it. And by the way, Times and many other papers, not just the Times. It was the Times I would say, don't believe it, maybe. But it's many papers talking about he cannot comprehend what's going on. That's bad. That's real bad. Can you imagine that? If somebody goes in office and then you realize that he really cannot figure it out?
Yeah, Obama can't figure it out.
We got a problem. Yeah, we have Obama. That's right. He's never figured it out.
Never figured it out.
And then we have others. I mean, they're running, but they're not the right people. They're not the right people. You know, I've made a tremendous amount of money. I've built a great company. Remember when they said, he'll never run? Then I ran. Then they said, he'll never file Form A. That's basically a one-page, but basically you're signing your life away. I signed it. They're going like, oh. Then they said, oh, well, he'll never file his financials because you're given all these, you could file forever, you could take forever, you get all these delays and everything. They said, he'll ask for the longest delay. Well, I have the longest, biggest financial statement ever filed in the history of the federal elections. And I filed it ahead of schedule. No, it's true. You're given 30 days to file, and then you're giving many extensions, and everybody said, oh, he'll just keep extending and then he'll drop out, because maybe he's not as rich as people thought. Well, I filed it, and it turned out I'm much richer, right? You see, much richer. And I don't do that, you know what, much richer. Oh, the press was devastated. They couldn't believe the numbers. They couldn't believe it. Longest statement, I think it was 98 pages, almost 100 pages. Whereas a politician, it's like one page. They did a book. They got a couple of bucks for it, but they did something. So I did this tremendous thing. What they don't know is that I didn't even know if I was going to run, because it took, when I came down, I took